Hello everyone, my name is Prodesilaos, also known as Prot. In this video, I want to show you some new extensions for Denote, optional extensions that allow you to create links that point to Denote files, but more specifically to headings inside of those files. This is a feature that is available only for org mode because only org has the infrastructure, the necessary requirements to point to a specific and individual heading inside of the document. Let's see this together, and then I will show you some of the details. I have this larger file. This is just a copy of my .emacs configuration. It's over 100,000 words long, and it's not even finished. And I will go to this section in the document, which is about Denote. You will notice that there is just a heading here, and the rest is just text. So let's imagine this is just one note and I have been writing, and I want to link specifically to this heading. Because this is a massive document, I cannot just link to the file. I want to link to this specific heading. So with the cursor anywhere inside of the heading, it doesn't matter where it is, I will do the standard org command to record the link, to store a link. I will do it with Emacs now. Org store link. This is the standard command. You will notice now something that has happened. There is a properties drawer here. So org created a link, which is now a denote link. We will see it in a bit. It created a link to this file, and it also created this properties drawer over here. And in this link that it recorded, that it stored, it has a pointer to this unique identifier for this specific heading. So I can just go and kill this buffer now. I killed the buffer. And I will go ahead and create a new note. And the idea with this note is that an inserted link to a heading. This is the title of, sorry. This is an org type, and this is the title of the note. And then let's give it a testing keyword. We don't really matter. So here I have this new note, and what I want to do now is insert the link to the file that I recorded earlier. So I will do mx org insert link, just like that. And if I just keep typing enter, it produces the link that it last stored, and it allows me to modify the description. I will just insert it as is. And let's see what has happened here. It has produced the link to the file called prot Emacs. Let me put it back there so that we can see. The file has a title, prot Emacs, right here. This is the title of the document. And then it has these colon signs 2 times, and then the specific heading text. So this is actually the heading where I was. Let me go to that same thing. So to do the prot emacs langs.el settings for denote, and in parentheses, notes and file naming. And we can see in the link below that it has exactly this same text over here. Again, let me kill this buffer. So it has gone. And let's follow the link. Control C, Control O inside of org mode follows the link by default. And here we are. It brought us directly here. Let me try it again. So let's kill that buffer, and let's remove everything so that we can see it again in action. Control C, Control O. And in the other window, we can see that it has opened the prot Emacs file. And inside of that, it has taken us to this heading over here with this unique identifier right there. And this is a very nice feature. Let me now toggle the display of links. in org mode. I forget what's the name of this command. I think it's org toggle link display. Okay, let's do again org toggle link display, but let me enable it like this. And for now, I will add a few spaces for didactic purposes. Let's add a few spaces. So when we are creating the link, we have, of course, the link to where it needs to go and the description, okay? And Denote takes care to compose the description from the file and the headings text, as I already explained. Similarly, what it does here for the denote link type, it points to the file's identifier, the unique identifier of each file, which is basically the timestamp of the file. And then it points to this specific heading identifier inside of that file. These identifiers are not generated by Denote. Denote just uses the org infrastructure for identifiers. And in the manual, I explain how you can affect this if you don't like the UUID, which is the default. The UUID is what produces this long string of alphanumeric characters, but you can affect it. You can say that you want something else to be used for those identifiers. So far, so good. I inserted a link using the standard facilities org store link to store the link, and then org insert link to insert the link. And Denote took care to extract the heading and to create a link to that specific heading. Let's now use another method. I will create a new file, and I want, one second, before I create, link to this heading. And let's have another heading here, another heading here, and the third one. And we have some text, and let's copy this. Okay, so we have another document here. Let's assume that it is a large document, and what we will do is we will create a new note, and this new note will be another way to link to a heading. This is the title, again, testing keyword. So I am in this new file of mine, and what I want to do is link to this other file, this one over here, okay? And so what I will do is I want to link, but not link the way that we normally link to a file in Denote. I want to link to a file and then to a heading. So for our purposes, I want to link to this one. Let's see what happens. I will do Emacs denote org denote org extras, and we have the command link to heading. You see over here? And when you invoke this command, it asks you to select a note. And what it does, if you have lots of notes with different file types, it only shows you org files. So if you have .txt, .md, or something else that you have defined, it won't show up in this specific interface because, as I said, this functionality is only available for org mode. So we will select the file. I want to select this file over here. And once we select the file, it produces an interface over here, a prompt that shows us the available headings. And it tells us, okay, pick one. Which one do you want to link to? And for now, I will pick the first one because this is what I want to do. And see what happens here. On this file, in this file that I am creating, it created a link. It inserted a link the same way as it did here, meaning that we have the text of the title, then two colons, and the text of the heading. And if I toggle the display of the link, we see that we have the denote file type, denote link type, Then we have the identifier of that file, 2 colons, and the UUID of the heading. And furthermore, we notice that here, remember this heading when I created it, it inserted this properties drawer, and I can hit tab to expand it, and I see that it has stored in this properties drawer a custom ID which is generated automatically by org mode. And what Denote does is it tells org, hey, I want to link to this thing and use this ID for me. Okay, and this is what org does. And so it has done these two things. Let me come here and I will kill this buffer now. I killed it, it has disappeared, and I will just click on this link. And sorry, I cannot click. Let's see, why can I not click again? Okay, it worked. I probably typed clicked wrongly. I don't know. This can happen. So yeah, you follow the link. This is the idea, and it takes you to the specific heading. Let's try again with the old one, to that large file. We click on it, and it takes us to the specific heading over there. So this is the functionality, the two ways to define links to files and headings inside your Denote directory. Since I am here already, let me show you another feature, which is, let me just have it over here. By the way, the new file is denote.org_extras.el, but this is part of development, so we might change things. Let me show you now a new functionality. Let me go to this file again over here, and let's go to, for example, details of my Emacs build over here. And what I have over here is already something that I was testing earlier. I have a properties drawer, the familiar properties drawer, and it has a custom ID, as we have already seen. What I have created also here is two extra entries. One is called created, another is called date. So we will try both of them and see the difference. The idea is, let's have now with created. The idea is that I have this subsection of my document, this over here. And this is a large document, and now I have decided that actually I don't need this to be here anymore. I want it to become its own note. So I want to take the text from here and convert it into a note, a standalone note file. So we will do Emacs denote org extras. And now notice that we have the extract org subtree command. And once we hit enter, what this does is it takes the text, the entire text of the entry, and it produces a note with that text, a standalone note file. And let's see a little bit what it has done. It has, as the title of the file, it has used the text of the heading. Let me go to the previous buffer. It has taken all the text that was here. So I will undo now. Normally you wouldn't want it to undo, but for demo purposes, I will undo so that we can see everything again. It took the text of the heading and it turned it into the text of this file's title. And we can also see it in the file name. It is details of my Emacs build. So there is this over here, and it took the file tags, denote and testing. It took them, it inherited them from the file over here, because this heading did not have its own tags like it could be over here. We will see this as well in a second. So it took those. And what it also took is, if we see the date over here, is for the 16th of January, and then Tuesday 10/14. And we can see here in the identifier, this is reflected. We have 01/16 and then 10/14. Okay, it is exactly the same idea. In other words, the command that I invoked read the created, the value over here, the timestamp, and it generated this new note. And it also read this, okay? And this is the idea. The properties drawer that was there is preserved. I have thought about removing it, but sometimes you are recording lots of information in a properties drawer. So just to be safe, we will not be touching this. This is for the user. If you don't want this, you just remove it and you are good to go with your new note. This is the idea. Let's save this. And let's go back to this main file. And for now, let's use another one over here, another entry over here. Does it have subheadings? I hope it does, because I want to show you something. Oh, no, let's use this one because this one has subheadings. I want to show you with the subheadings. And I also want to show you this other possibility. Instead of using created, we can use date, and I will insert a timestamp here for, let's say, the 19th, like this. So I inserted a timestamp like that over there. Now, there will be two things happening here. I will use the same command, and what it will do now is it will take the heading and all of its contents. Okay, so all of the subheadings will be taken as well. And then it will read the date. So it will either read created or date, defaulting to date. This is the idea. And I will also add a tag 1, let's call it like this, and let's add a tag 2. Okay, so we have all the data that we want encapsulated in this entry right here. So I will invoke again this command, and let's see what happened over here. It inherited the tags of the file, which is an option that I have set for my org to inherit file tags. So it inherited the denote and testing, but in addition to those, it also has tag 1 and tag 2. Let's go to the top of the file. The top of the file is the title that I extracted. The date is the 19th of February. Because my date didn't have a time specified, Denote defaults to time 0. So there is that. If you care about the time, how it looks in the identifier, you can always change the time over there. The properties drawer has been preserved over here, so you can remove it while creating the new note. And then below, after this introductory section, we have all the subsections. They were taken as is and inserted in this new note. So yes, this is all there is to it, folks. We have the ability to link to a heading inside of a denote file, and we also have the ability to take a heading, an org subtree as it is known, a heading with all of its contents, take it and generate a standalone, a new note out of it. So yes, this is the idea, and these features are part of the current development version of Denote. This is currently called version 3.0, but I don't know, maybe it will be 2.3. We will see. We will see. For now, it is called, the tentative name, it is Denote 3.0 development version. And the file which implements this new functionality is denote org extras. Finally, just to say that if you do not want to have the org store link create links to headings and also generate that properties drawer, you can opt out of this feature. It is opt out because I think most people will want this as a default value. But if you don't like it, there is this user option over here, denote org store link to heading, and all you need to do is set this to nil. And if you set that to nil, the command org store link will simply link to the file. And you can see the difference over here. This is the link to the file, and the description of the link is the title of the file. And this is what I demonstrated today, which is the link to the file and to a heading inside of the file, followed by the text of the file, the title, and the text of the heading. That's all for today, folks. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care and goodbye for now.